What if peace is not found in freedom? What if the calm you are searching for does not depend on circumstances at all? Boethius wrote one of the most powerful philosophical works in history while sitting in a prison cell waiting for execution. He had lost status, power, influence, security. Everything that usually gives a person identity had been stripped away. And yet, in that darkness, he wrote about peace. Not forced optimism, not denial, but a deeper stability that cannot be taken by politics, loss, or betrayal. Boethius understood something most people only realize too late. External stability is fragile. Wealth disappears. Reputation shifts. Power changes hands. What feels permanent rarely is. When life collapses externally, most people collapse internally. But Boethius asked a different question. What if inner stability does not need outer certainty? He described suffering not as proof of injustice, but as a test of perception. The mind suffers twice, once from events and once from the interpretation of those events. When we believe life owes us fairness, difficulty feels like personal attack. When we understand that change is natural, difficulty becomes part of the human condition. Boethius did not deny pain. He did not pretend imprisonment was comfortable, but he refused to let circumstances define his identity. He separated what happens from who he is. This separation creates space, and in that space, peace becomes possible. He believed that much of human anxiety comes from attaching happiness to unstable things, titles, approval, control, success. When these disappear, we feel erased. But perhaps we were building on something temporary from the beginning. Boethius suggested that true peace comes from aligning with what cannot be taken. Reason, integrity, clarity of thought, inner values. These remain, even when walls close in. Hard times reveal what we depend on. When comfort disappears, we discover whether our calm was real or borrowed. If it depended entirely on favorable conditions, it was never truly ours. He wrote that fortune is unstable by nature. It rises and falls without asking permission. Resisting this fact creates suffering. Accepting it creates perspective. Acceptance is not surrender. It is clarity. When we stop demanding that life follow our plans, we begin to see life as it is. And clarity reduces fear more effectively than control ever could. Boethius also explored the idea that suffering refines perception. In comfort, the mind is distracted. In hardship, illusions fall away. We see our fears more honestly. We see our attachments more clearly. And sometimes, we discover that what we thought was essential was only habit. This is not romanticizing pain. It is recognizing that pain contains information. Peace, in his view, is not the absence of difficulty. It is the alignment between reality and understanding. When the mind stops fighting what is unavoidable, energy returns. Strength returns. Inner peace is not dramatic. It does not announce itself. It is quiet acceptance combined with steady reasoning. the ability to remain whole, even when circumstances fragment. Perhaps Boethius discovered something radical. Freedom is not location-based, it is perception-based. Even in a prison cell, the mind can choose its posture. When everything external feels unstable, we are invited to look inward, not to escape reality, but to anchor ourselves in something deeper than circumstance. Maybe peace is not something we find when life becomes easy. Maybe peace is what remains when we stop resisting what is. And maybe the real question is not how to control the world, but how to remain steady when you cannot.